What's up, Buzo?
What's up, everyone? What's in the show? Episode 6. Let's go.
Welcome everyone to episode 6 of the ForTheBoys Podcast. We got a mean show tonight. Myself and Matt, we've been talking about it every day, man. We just hyped ourselves up, but as you know, we got a few guests on with us. Yeah. Plenty of experience. Plenty.
In heaps of experiences, we got those some wheels from last week. Running it straight back. Hopefully, we can do the subject matter this week. So we'll go.
Hey, so brothers, let's go.
Let's go. And we've got a few minutes till the brother Josh comes through, but making his big debut on the Daily Squeeze, Kelston Zone. But before we hit that, we'll play a little something.
Yeah, we was once two brothers of the same kind, popping hotties at the parking lot, partners in crime, to popping monos at the lake in the summertime, or going halves on the tinny just to unwind, escaping times, chasing highs. We was tight since like knee high, and through the struggle and strife, you was my ride or die. Although your sister was sicky, I never crossed the line. Always respected, I'm not for brothers for life. But many times we would fight because of ignorance. Samoa versus Tonga, historical grievances. Our foolish pride and attitude was belligerent. Your local go and my local daughter was killing us. But like the phoenix, we rose up out the ashes. With Falofa in our loto, we overcame the madness. Though the future's unclear and might get ugly, we good cause our toko also tu fa'atasi. O tu whakataha, my brother from another mother. My lover me akutoa ka pawe tau loto taha. See, it gets tougher, watching our people still suffer. We gotta educate, get our people up out the gutter. If they caught up in the struggle, lend a helping hand. That's why our fam departed the homeland. Don't forget the plan or do it for the brothers deceased and passed over. R.I.P. Ben, GOP1 and sundown. Rain the blessings down, Paula and keep they out. Wax Renati, Medui forever in our hearts now. So don't forget your brothers that's still around, cause you never know when time is up and they 6 feet underground. So swear I never ride them off like a leather, cause as time goes on we get strong and better whenever. In tough times or stormy weather, remember, never above, never below, always together. Toko uso.
Treat you fair, I'ma never disagree.
So let's check this sick use. Are you sure he's on the Booyah driving?
Yo, what's up, brothers?
What's up, brother?
Sabuto.
Man, good to be on tonight.
Thanks for joining the podcast this week, Uzo.
Thanks for having me, man. Good to be
Thank
here.
you for making the time.
Oh, it's a pleasure, bro.
Yo, Terry, your mic is muted. All I get no
Bloody
idea.
noob. bloody noob.
All I get no idea. So.
I was just doing this way.
Right?
But yeah, no, welcome to the show, bro. Man, with Wills and hopefully Josh on soon. Here we go. Just gotta add the brother Josh.
Full panel, bro. Full panel.
Mate. Feeling a bit intimidated here, but before we start off the show, we usually ask the guys that are doing their debut a quick or short intro about yourselves, and yeah, bro, just go for it.
Sweet. Hey guys, yeah, my name is Sosh. I'm born and bred in West Auckland. Both of my parents are from Tonga. Professionally, I've been involved with youth work for too long. Since 2009 professionally, but yeah, at the moment I'm counseling for a group called Mapumaya, and basically work in the addiction sector. Yeah, but it's really good work, and I'm really enjoying it. And man, I'm just really happy to be here and see what the corridor is tonight, and do a little bit of sharing and a little bit of learning. And yeah, man, looking forward to tonight.
Nice, brother. Nice. Good to have you on the show, bro.
Thanks for taking the time. It was good to have you on. Full panel tonight, Moose. Thank you.
And this was a surprise visit. From
Intro the big boss.
we call him boss. We call him boss because the man's running the show. He's running Auckland Necro from home. But also, Vince, man, welcome aboard, brother.
Can you hear me?
Yep. I can hear you, brother.
Hey, thanks for stepping in, Uso.
What's that?
Nah, it's not you. It's it's the brothers. But Us, give us a intro or a short intro about yourself. And
Yep.
yeah, bro.
Sweet. My name is Vince. Growing up in South Auckland pretty much all my life. Was born in Samoa. But I moved here when I was 1, so kind of lost the language along the way, as a lot of us have, I suppose. Been working with Terry and Pat for what, 4 or 5 years, something like that. But I've been with Trade Dev for going on 13 years now, so about a good third of my life. And I've worked my way up from driving, which is what Terry and Pat do now, and worked my way up to managing the control room at the moment. Yeah.
This is just a question from a random question that we got on our panel here. How did we get a job there? Hey, I'm just reading what the followers are sending me.
Just that's popular demand. Oh yeah. Shit, I don't know. I think I was lucky. So funny story about my me getting into the role. So I was in uni to begin with, and I knocked up my missus at the time. So nappies and all that stuff, formula, it's pretty expensive. So couldn't afford to keep going uni, so I had to look for a job. So I was firing my application everywhere, and it's hard when you're no experience, probably fresh out of uni, no one wants you. The first interview I got was for a call center for inland revenue, and so I aced the test, but I turned up in shorts. I was chewing bubblegum, and I swore a couple of times in the interview. So, but before that, when I was in the waiting room waiting for the interview, I talked to another dude who was in there, and he told me about Transleave and how he applied. And so when I went in the interview, I caked it, went home. I thought about Transleave and applied here. But learning from what I shouldn't have done in that last interview, that's how I got in. But I guess it's luck of the draw. Pat, Terry, you guys got in through the train manager school, though, eh?
Yeah. No, I had to use the old knee pads to get to where I am now, but that's another story.
I think that's that if anyone's serious about it, that's probably the easiest way in, to be honest. Train manager school. Sad as it is, but yeah, unless you got like, because they want ex-pilots and fucking ex-cop and fucking top tier people now, so it's getting a bit hard.
But lucky you joined at the right time. But nah, thanks, Us. Thanks for that. Josh, bro, welcome to the chat. I know you're
thanks for having me.
busy night. You got a busy night, but
yeah.
How you been, bro?
I've been busy. I just finished my run at work, but I got something on this evening. But blessed to be on this, and yeah. When I jumped on, I was intimidated, all right, by all these looks like a front row. But yeah, gents. My name's Josh Tatafu, Tongan, New Zealand born. Raised in West Auckland, lived most of my life in South Auckland. I've been working with youth since 2002, unofficially, or yeah, just in schools. In our college, we did youth groups up and down New Zealand, trying to form a Rama there for Catholic. It's a Catholic youth group within Catholic schools, and we were a part of a select team that would go up and down New Zealand and try and help form these in other Catholic schools. I eventually went into youth work. Before that, I did a bit of factory work and I did some butchering stuff. But I got into youth work back in 2004 in Korowai Manaki, one of the biggest residences in New Zealand, part of MSD at the time. I think it's OT at the moment. I was there till 2016. Started as a casual and worked my way up to team leader. Worked a bit of team leading, did programs, all sorts of different things there. And now I'm currently in Sydney, Australia, doing carrying on with working with youth, but working with the homeless kids here in Southwest Sydney. And it's just something I'm going to carry on doing, working with youth. There's a big need for help, just to help them actually. And we've all been part of, like, I'd say maybe traumatic or bad upbringings, maybe. But these guys have absolutely no one, and I'm blessed to be a part of people in the service that actually try and help, right? But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm gonna shoot off in about 15, Terry. But nice to meet you, gents.
Hey, Josh, question.
Yeah, bro.
Did you used to go Muslim?
Yeah.
I thought I recognized you. Shit. So I think I was a year below you. Your sister, I went to school with your sister, Christina.
Oh yeah. So she was a couple of years.
A year or two below. Yeah. No, yeah. Small world.
Me, bro.
Do you guys want to run the show or?
Yeah, might as well.
We'll just catch up another time, boys. But now, thanks for that, Josh. Man, some hearty stuff last week when I jumped on, and sorry I couldn't make it, but yeah, some of the stuff. What I'm sick. Yeah, bro, some really good shit. You can swear on you guys, but Sosh, yeah, what are you doing at the moment? What role are you working in now? I know about 6-7 years ago, we worked in youth. I was a bum boy, but anyway, that's another story. Yeah, bro.
Now, yeah, the last time we worked together was at Youth Horizons, yourself and Wills, and there I was a youth worker, and yeah, really loved the role there, especially like coming up with the programs and that, and I really enjoyed that. And after my time at Youth Horizons, I went on to Odyssey, and I started working at Odyssey House, doing addiction work there, and ran addictions program out of the Korowai Manaki prison. That was pretty cool. We did some really interesting stuff there. And after that role, I'm currently working at Mapumaya, which is counseling. So I'm doing one-to-one therapeutic work with mostly adults, but it also involves youth as well. Yeah, really enjoying that work. It's really fulfilling. You guys know, like I've always been into like digging, trying to get into the trying to identify like the core issues for that certain individual and unpacking it, and using evidence-based practices, but also our own PI knowledge, and just trying to unpack those issues and finding a way and supporting the person overcoming certain issues that are landing them in the harmful space, or destructive patterns and so forth. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that space at the moment, and still learning, man. I think the learning doesn't stop. The moment that we think that we know everything, I think that's when things start to crumble. But I'm still doing a lot of learning in the therapeutic space. But at the same time, I'm staying true to like what I've learned as a young Tongan, and like my traditions, as a PI. So just taking the kind of this predominantly westernized models like CPT and that, but latching on to what makes sense to me and to our people. Because otherwise, if you're talking gibberish, bro, our people don't want to hear that, man. So um, yeah, just that's a little bit about what I'm doing in my current role. Mm.
Nice. That's some good stuff. You've moved on to bigger things after you left Youth Horizon.
Yeah, oh man, I think it's all the same mahi, it's all the same work, but we all like, Will at the moment is managing, he's doing an awesome job there at is it Emerge, Wills?
Mm.
Yeah, you're doing awesome job there in the residential space, and man, I always got massive respect for youth workers and professionals in the residential space, because that's like 24 hours, man. And I always like to do the mahi, but when I come home, like switch off. And or when I come home, do my own voluntary thing, with coaching, or like teaching Tongan dance, or but something that I want to do. But man, those guys in the residential, it takes a special kind of individual to do that role. So man, yeah. I think it just, different strokes for different folks. We all like gravitate to our own strengths, and hopefully with that we can be men and provide for our families and pay the bills, pay for the nappies. Yeah.
So I take it you three work in youth. So what point in your life did you realize you wanted to do that with your life?
I'll quickly jump in. So as a PI, if you're in a church going family, you'd have to go to youth or Okalavo or ECL for the Tongans and stuff. So that's not where it started, but that's a seed was planted there. The connections and forming the social relationships, the learning, social learning and stuff happened there. But in college, it started off for me like Ramah was a big part of my life. It had a leadership development kind of component to it, where it drew me. And I also got to travel at a time. Brother JP took us down to Wellington and a few other places where we could go and just share what we had set in Marston. And what it was just about being real, being leaders, just being ourselves, and just that was the beginning for me back in college, bro. Then it just ever since then, the only other thing I've done was a bit of insurance work for six months prior to coming here. But everything just draws me back to working with youth. There's just a need for it, and it's rewarding. It's really hard. Residential care work was one of the hardest times, but you do what you can with good intentions. And I was also able to showcase my culture there, my morals, my values. Not push it upon them, but show them what made me who I was. And I tell you, you don't when you try and teach, or you try and mentor people, we got to get out of our mind that the expectation of once you've told it's that's wrong or that's right or yes or no. That's not how change works, especially for kids who have been in the environment of abuse or whatever's happened for them. It's taken them 10, 15 years of their life to learn that behavior. They're not going to come into a residential space or any type of program and make a drastic change. We need to celebrate the small wins, and that's my focus towards the end of my my working at Korowai. We did some amazing work, but the focus was now just focus on the little stuff. We're planting seeds, and eventually in life, when they're ready, because we can't force change, it'll happen. And then, yeah. Sorry, I went a bit off course, but
No, it's good.
You're good, bro.
That's the love,
You're
bro.
good,
That's the love. Yeah, well, Wolves, bro.
Nice, bro.
Fuck. That's now with you and your work. I know you've only when we started messaging each other, you only I think gave me just a bit of what you're doing, but I know you're running an empire, like I was saying before. But bro, all your work, bro, your office, shit, upgrading every time I see you, brother. And your office is always in your car, done having a holiday.
What was the question before? It was what led us there.
That was the question.
What kind of drives you to do what you do? Because I mean, I imagine it's not like the most high-paying job or something like that, right? So something must drive you to youth work.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's and I kind of touched on it last week, was having younger siblings and a sister. So me being almost the black sheep of the family, I kind of went down every bad turn and was able to come back and then just kind of, say to my siblings, hey, don't go down there. I've already been down there. But in saying that too, being Pacifica, I think we do a lot of youth work growing up. Whether you're babysitting, whether families are at Housey or whether the families at the casino, you're kind of still kind of leading all of that stuff. And that's where I'm, I guess, kind of led me to where I am now.
Nice.
Yep. I'll jump in. I guess for me was kind of like the same thing. I grew up in a very religious family, and we're involved with youth groups. And during that time, I was involved with the youth group. I had mentors that I looked up to, and they kind of guided me through my adolescent years. And it was kind of like I just gravitated toward that. Watching the younger youth coming through and being able to support them, and also having an understanding of through being brought up in the religious context, you have the understanding of serving and service to community, and that really stuck with me from a young age, and just naturally gravitated to youth work, and the opportunity arose to work as a youth worker professionally, and the rest was history. Yeah.
I hope you guys don't take any offense to the question there, because I believe it's important, and I take my hat off to you guys for choosing that path, because it's no secret. Our poly kids probably aren't the most well supported in their home lives, probably out there in the world. So we kind of need people like you, guiding them and stepping in, filling gaps where you can. I think. because I'll admit for myself, I never really thought about it. The missus has kind of thought about doing something like the pillars or
The Big Brother type
pillar
thing.
stuff. Yeah, and I've been thinking about it, but I never really grew up in a what you might say is a traditional poly environment. Pretty how do you say it? Europeanized, I guess. Even though both my parents are Samoan, and I guess the fear for me for doing it is one is getting too attached, and I guess the other thing is failing them. But no, like I said, I'll take my head off to you guys. I think you guys do an important function, especially for our, like I said, our poly children.
Shot, bro.
No, boys. Wells, we met about 10 years ago. It's the same time as Rolling, or say Sosh. But with Josh, I met Josh on Fortnite. He's the man. If everyone wants to know, he was running the.
I deleted the thing. I had to get focused on that thing.
Yeah. So and at the same time, Josh he runs his own. I don't know if he's still running your own business on the side. I had a quick chat with you while we were playing Fortnite, and just before you go, you want to touch up on a bit of that, or?
No. But I will say, like, especially for I don't want to get into it because it's just too long and stuff. But what I do want to say is we bring a special kind of love to our work as youth workers. We come with that sense of, it takes a village to raise a kid, and that's always how it's been, with our family functions and all sorts. And we bring that flavor into the work, or that's how it was in Kodawai. We try to bring in that it takes a village to raise a kid, and we are sought amongst, because we have that passion, and we have not only the passion, but we have the patience as well. Some of us don't have, too much patience as Polynesian men, but there's places where we can support groups for that. But generally, we were able to support all the different ethnic groups. And then in my service at Kodawai, there wasn't too many Polynesians, but when they did start coming in, that rapport was there, the relationship was there. They had the core values. They just, something wasn't going right for them in their lives, and that's how we were able to relate to them and try and get these little successes and stuff. In regards, sorry, just to end it off, I want to shoot off to the online business. There's always different ways out there. People do all sorts of different things. As long as you're passionate about what you do, you'll be able to succeed and just never fail. I think, especially for Polynesian people, when we get into other types of ventures or whatever, we kind of compare ourselves to others, and then once we don't get the results that we see they get, we kind of drop back, and then we believe to be failures and stuff. But just if anyone's doing anything out there, just carry on doing what you're doing. Do it with the intention of you want to help people as well as you want to help yourselves. But I appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna shoot off, and we'll catch up next week if there's a next week. Thank you very much for your guys' time.
Josh, take it easy.
Josh, shut up, bro.
Yeah. So, what's the next one, Teza? What's the next question?
So got quite a few questions, like millions of them, but funny uni stories, man. I know all you guys have been to uni, and I just went to primary. But funny uni stories, bro.
Get up. I did kind of catfish. This is before catfish was even a thing, but.
So is that how they built their empire? Or that their show was based on you, eh?
Started in
you naughty guy.
So when I started uni, it was over at the med facility at Grafton, and there's a shitloads of Mormon kids that enroll in med school studies, and there was this one who was just a little bit weird. So, and he didn't have my number and my mate's number, so we used my mate's number to text him and lead him around. Just meet us at this bakery, meet us over here, and we'd watch from the side and just look at him fucking try to find what was her name? Chelsea Anderson is what we called ourselves. I regret it. It's not a funny story. I regret it because the guy actually looked pretty beat up after about 3 or 4 weeks of it.
Oh shit!
But kind of how I got my in uni, I guess. But that's about as much as I got. Other than obviously knocking up my missus at the time. I got you in the first place.
I've probably got 2 stories. So obviously last week I touched on having left school at like 12 years old. So going to uni, it was a bit of a eye opener for me because one, being out of school for so long. Anyway, so first day of uni, it was me and Sosh. And I remember I had to do an assignment. And so what I did is I just copy and pasted everything and I put it on this, on my worksheet or whatever it was. And then I sent it in, submitted it. And then at the end of class, the head of school came and pulled me to the side and like started talking to me about plagiarism. And because I had copied everything, I didn't realize that there was such a thing. And kind of told me off about it and all this sort of stuff. So I was like, oh well. And the second one was, so I turned up to class. I hadn't been going to class all week. And we were doing a video conference with another group, talking about our assignments. And I didn't bring anything. So 2 of the the teacher went out of the room to grab something, and I just went to the back of the computer and I pulled up the cord, so there was no, so they couldn't see me. And then I was like, then they got in the IT guy to come in and they were trying to fix it, and they were like, "Oh, I'm not sure what's happening here." And then I was like, "Oh, guys, hey, I've got to shoot off, but hey, I'll do my presentation, although you won't see the video, but you guys will hear it." And they were like, oh, okay then. So I gave my presentation. I had nothing. I kind of just made it up as I went, and obviously I passed.
That's the one, man.
Shut loose.
That's the one, bro. Gotta survive, bro. Hey, sink or swim, brother. We
Sink
made
or
it,
swim,
bro.
man.
We made it.
And we made it.
Man, I don't really have any like particular story, man, but I just have memories of me trying to self-sabotage, man, and just spending nights trying to finish 3 months work in the space of 12 hours. It's crazy. But after I finished uni and I went on and did a graduate dip as well, and man, they asked me to apply for a position, which is a placement coordinator position, where you take like people who are working towards their degree and you put them into like basically work experience, right? Because it's part of their practicum where they have to earn kind of like a tradie, have to do a certain particular amount of hours before they become qualified. And I was that person who was organizing placements for the students. And man, I I failed miserably at the job. They put me in there, bro, and it was a massive fail. Like, oh yeah, there's this guy. The talk was, yeah, he's an awesome student, man. He does so well. And then when I went into that job, but I was like, that's kind of like the first time that I was like recognized for a qualification, and I got paid really well. So I was like, man, yeah, awesome, yeah. And then next minute, it was just a massive build-up, say. But but it was a good learning, man. It was a good learning, eh? Like I said to my son, hey, there's no such thing as losing. It's learning, eh? So
Nice.
yeah, bro. Yeah, funny, man.
Welcome to the show, Black
Hey.
Hammer.
Hey, how's it going, man? How's
Cuss.
it going? Hey, Sosh, how are you, bro?
What's up, man? There's the hammer, bro.
He's getting professional now. He's changing up his name from Black Hammer to Soaks. Moving up in the world.
Sorry, guys, just finished doing my bit for the company.
So, please.
No, we know you don't do anything for the company. I see you on the back.
He had to keep it. He has to keep it professional because his boss is next. He's online.
Is there any way we can mute him? Just put a blank picture or something.
I've got a quick uni story, but the funny thing is I never went to uni. So during O week, you guys probably know during O week, at Unitech, they used to hire in people that could help out with handing out flyers and doing the barbecue. So for about 2 weeks, I told my mum, I was like, "Oh, mum, I'm going Unitech." She goes, "What?" He goes, yeah, I'm going Unitech. He goes, "Oh, good on you, Terry. I'm very proud of you." And that was the first week, because I was like getting up at like 5 in the morning and heading off to Unitech, finishing at like 7 at night because we had to pack up everything. But for 2 weeks, I done that, and then the third week, my mom was like, "Oh, okay, you don't have study today?" I'm like, "Oh, nah, not today." A week goes by, and she goes, "Were you lying to me, you piece of?" So that's my not making it to uni at all.
So you contributed.
Yeah, I helped everyone else. So
This way. This way.
I was the guy that everyone ignored.
Oosh.
But now we'll move on to this is going to be a very touchy subject, but I know it's going to be very nice. But upbringing stories, eh? I know Vince just touched the surface with yours, but upbringing. I'll let Wills do the damage.
Oh, does Soaks want to jump in on that one, or since he's just come on?
Hasn't contributed anything like usual.
Yeah. Soaks, Black Hammer. Okay. Upbringing.
Oh man, I had a good upbringing, man. We had nothing, but we were rich in some ways. But I had a good life coming up. Parents made sure we had everything, even though we didn't have much. But I grew up in a good neighborhood. No gangs, man. I had my bodyguard Sosh there, was always there looking after me. So I grew up good childhood, man. No hard dramas or anything. Yeah, that's about it.
But why do you wear red all the time? Just asking.
MMT, bro. MMT.
Oh, I thought there was something else. Sorry.
Nah, man, I had a good childhood, eh? No dramas, man.
Oh, I'll jump in on this one. So, I guess, Vince, you asked us before, like, what was the drivers? And I think the upbringing for me was a massive driver. I think I guess, had a pretty buzzy upbringing. Obviously, single mother. Probably been to every women's refuge from up north all the way down. So I guess this is why I'm doing this sort of mahi. But in saying that, probably like everyone else, had a mother that worked probably like 2 jobs, and that's probably where I get my work ethic from. I'm still trying to buy that hopefully win that 50 million so I can buy that house that she's been asking for. But it's I mean there's a lot for me to unpack with that whole upbringing stuff. But it's made me who I am today. It's kind of made my siblings who they are today. So we're grateful for that.
Sure, brother.
Nice.
Nice, boys. My upbringing was pretty colorful. My parents, they both came from Tonga in the the late 60s, and they're straight like traditional. Dad worked in the factories, the tannery factories here at Portage Road in New Lynn, and Mum worked at the factories in Crown Lynn. But Crown Lynn shut in the giving a whole Anyway, and then my mum, like, she worked as a cleaner, worked a couple of jobs as a cleaner, but they did the best they could. Um, bringing up myself and my siblings. Like I said before, we're heavily involved in church and that. And so it was a bit challenging, like trying to navigate, like coming up in a Western culture, going to school, and where you're taught like certain things about what you get this, or you watch TV and you paint this picture of a perfect family, like going out for trips and going to the beach, but like my family wasn't really like that, so I was kind of conflicted from a young age. And I guess just cultural differences was a bit of a challenge as well. Like soggy sandwiches. So I always used to follow Jeremiah. He always have like KFC in his lunchbox, or he had that sharp stuff, man. So you're lucky to have some friends like that to follow around. Eh? But I think
Stolen.
I think with that colorful upbringing and diversities of different cultures can be challenging and has its challenges, but I think it also contributes to the way that we are, like, as individuals and in our workspace. It's almost like we can operate in different worlds, like in Palangi setting and even in our own island setting, so yeah, I think I was very fortunate to have that upbringing. Yeah.
Nice, docs.
Nice.
Yeah, not for me. My upbringing, I grew up with 10 siblings. So, mum and dad. Oh, sorry, dad was the full-time worker, and mum was a stay-at-home. Looked after. Yeah, basically we had all the neighborhood over. It was that kind of house that everyone used to just come around, and we had no food. So the funny thing is, my dad used to get pissed off that all the neighborhood used to eat the bread and use all the butter in the fridge. So when we used to leave to work, he used to take the butter and the bread to work. So it was like there's no food left. But
he wouldn't eat any of it. He'd bring it straight back and be the thing.
Yeah, he'd bring it home, and then it was like, oh, Christmas. Yeah, so it's kind of paved the way for me, only because we grew up in a state house, a 3-bedroom state house with a garage, And yeah, there's about 11 of us living in it. So there was any room that could fit a bed, there was something there. Double or king size bed inside the lounge. That was normal. So every time I went over to the mate's house and I never saw a bed inside the lounge, I was like, bro, these guys are not normal, man. And it's probably because they had their own room and there was like 20 in one room at home. So any chance, and the sad thing is that any chance I could get, I'd always go over to my cousin's house just so I can sleep in my own bed, just to feel normal, but not knowing how hard the old man worked. He did 12-hour shifts. That's normal for an island family. That dad used to go and work hard, and mom used to stay at home. But what was good about it is that school was just up the road, so we could come home for lunch and do those sort of stuff. Come home and eat the fresh air. And then go back to school, and then they go, "Oh, did you eat?" And they, yeah. And then you're looking around for like someone else's lunch. Did you finish your lunch? And
That's why you had abs back then, eh, bro?
I had muscles on muscles, bro. And now it's just having to relax at the moment. But anyway, and I don't want to go too deep, but the funny thing we used to do for lunch is we always used to have rara in the fridge, in the cupboards. What else? And noodles. But noodles was a number one thing, so I used to take it to school, to primary and all that, or primary and intermediate. And some of the guys that had lunch go, "Oh, can I have your noodles?" I felt like, oh shit, this guy's never had noodles in his life. So I used to trade him every time. I used to trade him every time I used to go through. So, it's funny, but every time I look at it now, it's kind of, me who I am.
Nice.
I guess
Yeah.
like I said, I was Europeanized. It was to the point it was just me and my little brother. There's only two of us. Most families were 5, 6, 7 kids. But that didn't mean we had more food. We were still poor. But yeah, mum and dad kept us away from gangs and kept us on the straight and narrow, in bed before the sun went down, all that type of stuff. Pretty boring, actually.
Nice.
You grew up in Mangrels?
Yeah.
Right.
So while all my friends were going to parties, I was at home washing the dishes.
Hitting the box, eh?
Hitting the books.
Hitting the box.
That was
The Bono book? Or...
no. not my favorite memory. There you go.
The Playboy book.
Just
But
on
Yep.
Oh, no, just laughing at Terry's story about the noodles. I'm sure everybody's got those stories. I remember. So it's something that you'd laugh about now, but we used to get the chicken backs. Samoan would call it the bako mos. We'd have some of our friends come over, and my mum was able to make that like KFC chicken. And some of our friends would come over and they'll be like, "Bro, where's all the chicken?" Because it's only the backs. And we'll be like, "Bro, don't eat that stuff, bro. You got to eat the bones because that's where all the good stuff is." Stuff like that, stuff like that. It's you can sit there and kind of laugh about it. And things like I remember being like real young, and there was a neighbor that had must have been a solo mother and had 2 kids, and I would pretend to go play with them because I knew when lunchtime was. And I'd see my siblings looking out the window while I'm having something to eat.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, Swank ask a question. Any feelings or thoughts on the lockdown?
Oh yeah, lockdown, eh? Dang. I guess everyone here is essential workers, eh? Because with obviously youth and Sosh, yourself. Yeah. But rocking up to work this morning, like when we had COVID before, the first a lot of COVID, man, the car parks are empty and no one on the train, obviously. But
Yeah.
I think the COVID itself, it was kind of like a blessing. I know, like, we lost a lot of people in New Zealand, but just having that time at home and spending it with the family and not having to work was, I guess, one of the highlights. You know, you're kind of blessed if you get to spend majority of your time at home with the family. So I guess that's my take. Jeremiah, you just stay at work, okay?
I'll keep walking and running, man.
This guy. Soki, welcome back. You on or?
You reckon with that?
Really,
What was crazy yesterday is you know how I think it was like 12 o'clock. That's when the lockdown was gonna kick in, and I was heading to work, and I looked at the time. I was wondering why the roads were busy. It was like 11:30, but like the Wendy's, the Burger King, the McDonald's lines were like packed. I was like, holy, does everyone have to be home by 12? But it is what it is.
any news bits?
Yeah, so take this for what it is. It's not official, and I ain't actually Bloomfield, but I know 3 different people who don't know each other who work in the COVID response environment, and all 3 of them have said that Friday midnight going into Saturday, they should be level 4.
Whoa. Whoa.
But again, it's not confirmed, so don't go rushing out and buying all the toilet paper.
Oh, I'm already at the queue, boys. I'm already at the queue.
So get us some Swinky.
I'm just one thing.
Man, I think the COVID thing for me, when it initially dropped, you know, my anxiety just went boom. You know, I was like, man, not again. Because I love my work, being out in the community, and you know, doing my voluntary work at Newland Rugby League club. You know, and we got like tournaments coming up, and we got like the Pacific Rugby League series coming up. Got all these things that we're planning for, and then you know, when it stops like that, you know, straight away you get into that ika mode. You're like, man, you know, you start getting angry, and then you start thinking negative things, and but you know, I guess like for me, that's just part of the process. And you know, just have to like look at, you know, the different types of information, and that's me on a personal level. But in terms of like my work, you know, heaps of the clients, a lot of them suffer from anxiety. So, you know, for them, it's a massive, you know, everything goes up, and you know, and it's so it's just supporting them through that, and you know, processing those anxiety levels, of bringing it back down to a safe and manageable place, you know. But on the other hand, you know, when we first went into lockdown the first time, like what Terry was saying, man, it was a good time to be with the family. You know, and just be grateful for those little things. And we were able to knock out a veggie garden. So right now, like, you know, 3 weeks ago, our veggie garden's in full bloom, man, with our veggies and silver beets and broccoli. And so I think this time we'll be we got a little bit of dirt there in the backyard, so we'll be expanding the veggie garden and doing a couple of activities to keep the kids keep their minds stimulated, you know, during this lockdown and so forth. But yeah, I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is, man. And it's better to be safe, I guess. Eh? Like, there's more cases now, and we went and got tested, so just got to roll with the punches, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess for me it's the same sort of thing as Sosh personally. I guess when lockdown hit the first time, me and my wife kind of like had the conversation beforehand. And because I'm in a residential space, we get young people coming in off the road, either with police or social workers. We're not too sure whether they're tested or whatnot. And I've got 2 young kids, so me and my wife spoke, and I ended up just moving straight into the residential house, and I just made the activity room my space. So I was there for 4.5 weeks, and used social, you know, like Viber and whatnot to talk to my family, my wife and my kids. And also too, like had our wedding anniversary while in lockdown, had my birthday in lockdown. So now that it's kind of come second time round, I've kind of just had that conversation with my wife, like what's going to happen if it does. Obviously the anxiety kind of goes up. You start, I'm one of those guys that start overthinking, and I think I can prepare for everything, which I know I can't. But it's always good to kind of have your wife where she just balances everything out. Just it is what it is. When if it comes to that level 4, then we'll figure it out. But yeah.
Nice.
What about you three, on the front line, dealing with the public? How do you guys feel about when the last time lockdown, having to work up the front? Because obviously I'm alright because I'm locked away in a room cupboard out the back of Britomart, but you guys have to deal with the public.
For me, are you talking about?
You know, or you?
Any of you guys do deal?
Yeah. For lockdown, when it's level 4, we're encouraged to stay home and engage counselling through video conversation or telephone. But man, it's not the same doing therapeutic work when you're sitting down face to face, you know, and you're connecting in real time. It's especially when you're getting deep, you know, and so that was a bit of a hassle, you know, really affected my work. And you know, I was just saying to one of the colleagues, man, we've been getting in a real good groove in the last couple of months, you know, coming out of lockdown, and now we're going back into lockdown. So when you're having conversations with my people that I work with, and they're like, yeah, everything's all good, but then, you know, in the background it's different, you know. So that's a bit frustrating in terms of not being able to connect with the people on the front line. Yeah.
Any of you boys are being tested?
Yeah, we me and my family got tested today because my son played against Mount Albert Lions 2 weeks ago.
Oh yes, because they're part of that cluster.
Yeah, so Mount Albert Primary, Mount Albert Grammar School. Apparently, the parents got letters sent to them and saying that there's been positive cases out of those 2 schools. So yeah, we just went and took the necessary precautions just to make sure that we're safe. And we were in contact with one of the nieces who went to Mount Albert, was going to Mount Albert. So we just went and got tested. We didn't have to wait that long. It was the one in New Lynn. We waited for about 20 minutes.
Oh, it's quick.
Oh, nice. Yeah, man, I've been hearing on the news, bro. These guys have been waiting like 8 hours plus.
Yeah.
8 hours, man. 5, yeah.
And getting turned away as well.
Yeah, but what's your guys' take on obviously you want to go get tested, but there's people in the line that are sick and that are wanting to get a test, but there's people in the line that are just, I feel like I need the test. So I don't know, like for me, I reckon obviously deal with the people that are sick, need to get tested. That's just me. That's just me and how I think. But there's two sides of the story because people hear that I've been in contact, that people don't want to, I guess, just jump in the line for whatever reason they have. But just watching it on TV, people are, when the news were asking, are you here because you're sick? And they go, no, I just want to get tested, which stops someone else and their kid from getting tested.
Yeah.
Good.
And I think that's probably why they're encouraging people to ring the healthline before joining the lines. If everybody's following suit, and they'll say to you whether whether you should get tested or whether you shouldn't. But like you said, it does kind of take that away from the person that is actually or may have some sort of symptoms if they're just waiting in line, taking up that space.
Yeah.
Nice. I went and got a COVID test about 2 weeks ago. Man, the feeling it's just. So
what did they do?
Is that the nasal one?
Yeah, they stick something up your bum.
I might like it.
Jeremiah's got to go now. Jeremiah's got to go immediately.
I was going to go join the line now.
Wrong podcast.
Stop doing COVID testing every night, bro.
Jeremiah's in the instructional videos.
just make sure it's a swab.
No, but the doctor said, we're going to go do a test because I was sick about 2 weeks ago. And the doctor said, I'll come through. We're going to obviously do a test. She told me, don't sneeze, don't move, and don't blink your eyes. I'm like, huh? So while she was doing it, she was rubbing it. Obviously, she goes right to the back of your whatever that place is. Didn't go to school.
Esophagus.
So it goes right to the back.
It's called the Acarus renal ecto.
The medulla oblongata.
To the back of your gluteus maximus. But it was so foreign, because she goes, just a minute, we gotta go deeper. I'm like, you want to poke my eyes out at the same time? What's going on? But she was like going right up. But anyway, came back about a day later and was negative. So never doing that stuff again.
Nah, it's good as long as she didn't go too deep. Might have come back positive.
Is rolling back, is it?
So Swanky just sent me that message to say that.
Curling your toes.
So while we're on the topic of COVID, and I think it's something along the lines of who you kind of leaning towards for voting, Green Party, or got any? And also with that referendum coming up, what do you call it? Anyway, who's you guys got any tips on who you guys are going for?
Not national. It's all in there.
Leipa.
That's why you wear red all the time, eh? Labor.
But no,
Man,
boys.
I haven't really looked at any of the policies in that, eh? I don't know. I was thinking of looking into John Tamahere because he's like me, bro. Got DUI record, DIY record, bro. So I can relate with that. One. Oh, mate.
Just do some more.
When's the cannabis one?
The
cannabis
coming up.
referendum, eh?
It's coming up, eh?
Yeah, should be coming up soon, I think.
Any thoughts on it?
Vote yes.
Yeah.
Yes, boys.
They're gonna use it anyway, right? So you might as well get the government to make some money off it.
Yeah, I lean towards the yes thing. I know the conservative approach is no, and I like. You guys heard what Portugal have done with the drug problem there? They've basically taken the philosophy that any type of drug should be dealt with as a health issue rather than a criminal issue, punitive approach. So they've basically decriminalized any type of drugs, and apparently it's doing pretty good. I mean, you still got people who are always going to use, but instead of making it a criminal act and like people hiding around the edges, like they got places where you can actually go and use, and they got social workers, counselors, and clinical people to help the people who are using. Basically, I think that's a pretty good approach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
Because I think that approach is better than the current approach. It's better than the.
You have to look at.
Sorry, boys, late to the party. Let's go.
Where's your epaulets, mate? Where's your epaulets?
Yo, swanky swag. Hey, forgot my pilot hat. How's everyone doing?
America, everything's illegal over there, and they still got a massive drug problem. So,
bro.
at least when you legalize it, you can monitor it.
Yeah, you can monitor it, and I think it's because the punitive and the criminal approach is not working. It's not working, So gotta try and look at a different way. I mean, if you can find somewhere in between, if there was a bloody right answer, then anyone would be using it. But at the moment, it's trial and error. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard.
I was just going to ask Sosh a question because it deals with adults as well. Men's health. We created this page basically to look at with Pacific Islanders and depression. With your role, you must come across very all kinds of walks in your life. And how do you approach it? And if you have any tips for, I guess, people like us that do come across it, and what's any steps? But bro.
Yeah, I think depression and anxiety is a normal part of life. Life has its ups and downs. When we have close family members who pass away, we go through a part of we experience depression, and things in life where we feel anxiety. For example, anxiety is a normal part of life. That's how we're able to survive. Our ancestors survived, so like standing on the edge of a cliff and you're looking down, and then you feel that boom, sudden rush of anxiety, and that's how our body prepares for to get ready for fight or flight or freeze mode. You know, when we look at depression, like I said before, when people feel sad, then we feel sad. Life goes up and down like that. But when it starts becoming harmful, um, when people are feeling sad and they're staying in their rooms, or they turn to an addiction, and it goes on for a prolonged amount of time, and it causes harm for themselves, and they can't like regulate their emotions, and or they take out their depression or their anger on a vulnerable someone who's more vulnerable, and that's when it starts forming a harmful pattern. That's when it's not good. um there's heaps of signs, like I'm sure some of you may have like experienced it. It's I believe it's 1 in every 5 people experience depression, prolonged depression, and it's rears its head differently for everyone. And there's heaps of things that contribute to why someone would be feeling anxious or having depression. It's on so many layers. It's not just one thing. It's a combination of things. Psychological effects, biological, physical effects, spiritual, and social. Heaps of those, and each of those things can all contribute to someone suffering from depression or anxiety. But yeah, and childhood trauma is a big part of that. There's heaps of evidence around that, how childhood trauma really affects the adult brain, and how people can be more prone to depression and anxiety. But yeah, everyone is different. Everyone, we're all our own individuals, and we process things in a different way. So yeah.
Malia Sosh.
Nice.
I'll be honest. I've been through depression, and I'm currently going through anxiety at the moment. So, depression in the beginning, when my my daughter's mum played up, broke up with me. Open book. I spent maybe 4 or 5 months pretty much sitting on my bed, staring out the window.
Yeah.
So I still went to work. I could compartmentalize it and just keep it aside, but it was still broken in the end. But what I found up was just being around family. I think it's important too when you're in your relationships to also keep your friends close, and don't shove your friends aside for their significant other, because you still need time away. And when we went through the breakup, I realized I had no one, because I'd done exactly that. But luckily, my boys, they were still in the background, so they still popped up, and it's made us closer. But as far as the anxiety goes, I think it's important you have someone strong behind you. And my wife's just come home, and she's my rock. She keeps me going. But I think it's important that you're honest about it to yourself and to those around you. Maybe there's a problem with the poly way of thinking, is that you just power through it, but no one should have to suffer that shit alone, right? So
Nice.
Nice, bro.
Nice.
Yeah. So, what was that, Tiz?
Oh, I just sorry to take over. I think I think it's for all of us here that have experienced maybe something like it. Expectation when you're young, from your family wanting you to do, every island mum or dad wants you to be a doctor, or whatever those high-paying jobs are, or if you're in sports, they want you to be an All Black. So I think from a young age, especially my mum and dad, set you know, the bar high straight away. You know, as soon as you come out, you better be running like an All Black or, you know, straight out the womb, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, and like not reaching it. You know, you're already in your mind like, oh, you're worthless.
Yeah.
And then there's a switch to that because you know, growing up with hard parents, you can't tell them that, oh shit, you know, I'm not. They're just gonna look at you and go, you're not good enough. You're not good enough.
Yeah.
But they don't say it. But in their face, they're like, oh, nah, you know, that's not good enough for us. That's how I looked at it. But I ended up becoming an All Black. Nah, but sorry guys, I always got this habit of referring back to making a joke, but that's I think that's my my cover, because just I don't know if it's everyone, you guys experience it as well, where expectations on your life that you need to reach it, and if not, you know, because your family just keep drilling it. If you don't reach it, it's kind of like under the carpet, but it's there. You gotta, you know, someday it's gonna come out. Like,
yeah.
Nice, bro. Nice, boys.
Do you reckon it's changed the way? Because I know some of you are probably fathers, right? So has it changed the way you father your kids? So you're not so hard on them. You're a bit more understanding. Because I'm like that with my daughter. So I just wanted to be happy. I don't want her to be an astronaut or anything. I just wanted to be happy.
Yeah, I think for me it's a bit crazy in terms of, I guess, growing up not having the father figure and then actually working with the youth. And I remember one of the kids saying to me, "Oh, like, do you have kids?" And I didn't have kids at the time, and they said, "Oh, how can you look after us if you don't even have your own kids?" And I was like, "Hey." Thought that was pretty out of it, and then now having my own kids, it's like, you know, do I live through my kids? Do I give everything to my kids because of something that happened to me, like where I'd never had much? Does, you know, like, is it the expectation that they get everything to the point where I have expectations on myself that if I can't provide that, then, you know, I feel like I failed. So it's all those sort of emotions that you kind of go through, and I'm still kind of going through now.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good one, because like many of you know, I got 2 girls, and like some pieces of me, I act like the old man, you know. When they do something good, I don't say they do it good, you know. I just let it go. Oh, yeah, sweet as, but you don't show them that it's nice. And then sometimes down the road, I'm like, oh yeah, good work. I'm you know, I'm learning, because all I learned was tough love, and you should get through it. But yeah, like I said, on the flip side, it's like hiding your emotions, eh? You don't want your kids to see that, see anything happen to you. Oh well, they don't, you know, you want to be that pillar of the family, and that's it. Nothing else. You shouldn't show them anything else. You shouldn't show them, you know, your weakness. Who wants to show that? That's how I think anyway. But you know, with my wife, she's the opposite. She, you know, she gives everything to the kids, and I'm on the other end again. No, they don't need it. They don't need this. They don't need that. Because I didn't have it, so I thought, nah, my kids should grow up the way I grow, so they can learn to grow on their feet, you know, grow and stand up on their own 2 feet. Yeah, but I'm learning, trying to be a better father every day.
And I think it too. It's one of those things where I often catch myself. You know, when something's brought for my kids, I'd often say, "Hey, man, you know, when we were growing up, we never had that." So then, like, you know, to me, like, I need to check myself because my kids shouldn't have to go through the trauma that I had when I was a kid. I should actually learn to just let that go. Maybe have this Talanoa with the boys where I unload all of that sort of stuff, but I shouldn't unload it and kind of compare it with my kids.
Yeah, bro, that's a good way of putting it out there.
Too right, man. That they have that saying, your perception, the way you perceive the world is how you basically deal with the world, right? Your perception and your judgments. But then if you look before that, where does your perception come from? And so your perception comes from the way you see the world, the way your worldview. A lot of it comes from what you learned from your parents. So as a kid, a lot of the trauma that your parents go through, they also pass it on to their kids. So the beliefs, even some of the negative beliefs and negative conditioning that the kids got, it also passes. Sorry, that the parents got also passes over to the kids. So it's really important, like what Wills was saying, for us as parents to like have that self-reflection, have that level of self-reflection, and to really challenge ourselves in the way we go about parenting. So we can be the best that we can be for the kids that are coming through. And like, I guess if I see some parents, if they've had nothing, they were raised poor, for example, and then they give the child everything, like McDonald's every day, KFC, but it's almost like you're compensating for the childhood that you missed out on, but at the same time you're like damaging them. I see another example, kids who were raised poor, and when they became youth, they really pushed, they became professional athletes, they really excelled. But then when they see their kids coming up, they don't want to push them, but they don't want to push them because they say, oh, it was too much pressure. But then I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know if it's wrong or right, but I'm thinking, shouldn't there be a balance? I don't know what. Just thought I'll put it out there, see what you guys think. Because in my thinking, there should be like a balance there. Like you want your kids to excel, but
you don't want to break. So I guess it's in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, I guess, and for some, there is no middle. They're still trying to figure that out.
I'm getting close to the middle, but that balance is it's not hard. I know it's there. It's within reach, but it's just training. I think the brain to switch every time. Like I'm I go to work, come home, and you love seeing your kids. You love seeing, and like we don't force our two girls to go and like play stuff. Like they're learning at their own pace. So when we do take them to sports games and all that, it's kind of hard because the dad in me is like be better than that boy over there, be better than that girl over there. But my wife's like giving me the eye in the back, like, hey, just calm down, man. They don't even know how to kick the ball. And I'm like, go home, kick the ball, that kind of stuff. Those little things that, I think you can do it, but there's a certain, way to let it out, I guess.
Yeah. Your intentions can be good, but then the way you do it, it's like the process. You can if you force it on them and you take away the enjoyment, then it'll be more like a chore and it'll be damaging for your relationship with you and your child. I guess, but if it's that balance of enjoyment, but you're also pushing them that. And like for me, I see it, this is just my own opinion, it's like about the virtues, right? Like the virtues of determination, the virtues of like forbearance and like really pushing yourself and striving for excellence, but doing it in a way where it's conducive to their development rather than cracking the whip, for example. And then they end up hating it, they end up hating it, yeah. I don't know.
Hey Mike, your son just turned 18, man. So you must have been through quite a lot with your upbringing and your kids.
Yeah, man, definitely. My kids, my son's actually 19, and that was last week.
Far.
My daughter's 18 next week. Sorry. So yeah, it's first of all, it's like head up to the mum. Like that's a no-brainer. We do our part, they do theirs. But in my case, she did most of their later upbringing after I've been on my own. But I'm saying like what the brother Sosh said, growing up and giving the kids what you never had, that's a normal thing for us to feel. And saying that, I bought my kids Jordans. I never put that whole thing into their mind of you got to have this, you got to have that. I kept the values of schoolwork and being a good person at the forefront. And then I did all that other stuff in the background, which was the cool stuff, because I knew where I came from and the grow up, the bringing up that we were brought up on, which was never as good as what they get now. And that's the truth. We gotta agree to that. But it's just I kept the whole work hard, do what you need to be doing, and the rest will come. The rest will follow because. Awesome. We were drummed. That stuff was drummed into us, but we just never listened. Because we wanted everything, but we never got it because our parents couldn't afford to give us all that stuff. So we either took it, and tried to be as good as our parents wanted us to be. Whereas I thought, I could give my kids these things without them asking, and in the hopes that they give me back is just good school ethics, ending up with good paying jobs and all that stuff. And that's what I mean. My kids, my son works at McDonald's now. But in saying that, he's finishing this year up, and then he's already accepted into uni for next year for paramedicine.
Nice.
My son, thanks for that.
Congratulations.
My son's also ex-prefect, and my daughter's actually one of the deputy head girls at the moment in the same college. So, like I said,
the mother side.
We did like the background stuff, and they just kicked our asses. Like I got nothing. I can't compare to my kids, but I'm glad that they turned out better because that's all we wanted. Like that's all we wanted. So.
Nice.
Too right, bro.
Basically, what we are ATMs, and that's the truth. We're the ATMs, and we're the enforcers, and that's it. The kids will be the kids. But yeah, I feel you. Like you got to give the kids. Like my son grew up with a lot of girl cousins, and in regards to that, when it was time for him to be a boy, you had to let him be a boy. And yeah, it's just one of those things. It's true. We never got what they got these days. My dad didn't play PlayStation with me, and I'm counting my son to play PlayStation with me because I bought one each.
Got a hiding station.
We gotta hide the PlayStation on the thing, and then turn off because you're on dancing. But yeah, I feel like they've become very good grown-ups, I should say now, adults, young adults. They still go to church. They love it. Yeah. And honestly, it's hats off to their mum. That's the truth. We are definitely just the ATMs and the enforcers. But yeah, I feel like my son and my daughter do look up to me as a role model. But it's definitely that. Yeah. Everyone's got their own different situations, and yeah.
Shadows.
Nice, man.
And it's cool because they look like my siblings, so we're like. don't know about Jeremiah. He probably can't say also every day. Everyone's different. Like, everyone's different, and as long as they're winning at the end of the day, I think that's the main thing.
Nice.
That's it.
That's what we want for our kids, eh?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think it's like you're saying. I think it's for in my own opinion, it's the goal for us is we want them to have everything or hit the goals straight away. Forgetting that it's a long road ahead, and
Journey.
and during the journey, there's a lot of things that they need to navigate through, either guided by the parents or by themselves. And that's what I think sometimes we have to remember that.
Too right.
Nice.
And how about you,
Any
old
plans for the
Swanky?
weekends, boys?
Swanky.
Rebels?
Swanky, loving the background, man.
Is that your,
Loving the ambience
For
of
the
that
midnight
background,
special?
Swanky.
your daughter's babbling?
R18 background, bro.
Nah, I got my kids holding the lights at the back.
He said he loved the bob patch, the back patch.
Red light special, bro. Red light special there.
What's up, boys?
Boys. Yeah, what's everyone's plan for tomorrow? I know we have some good work in here.
Well, yeah.
Everyone's working.
What are you doing?
What time tomorrow do we get back from this? Do they make an announcement?
I heard 5:30 tomorrow or something.
Oh, yeah.
She makes. So get prepared for level 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna start riding up the shopping list and either try and get the delivery or go and take the seat and the chili bin and wait outside the door.
Yeah.
Hey, how many new cases have they got now?
13.
Yeah.
That's just an opening too.
Where were these cases last week?
Somewhere in Mangry.
They're like, Jerry.
You're dirty guys. Nah,
It's that new shop
Pep-
they opened up.
As soon as they dropped in the newspaper, South Auckland, boom, everybody,
Big surprise.
yeah, it was that cluster in Pepatoi, the family. So yeah, they just like you were saying, Sosh. It's it kind of reached you guys and how you guys got tested. So, that's good to hear. You guys are negative. The test comes back negative.
You see?
Apparently, there's a trade manager at the Strand that's been tested. Because his son, I think his son and his daughter was in the same class as that in Mount Albert where that girl went to. So he's been tested today with the whole family. But Meninda won't tell me who the trade manager is.
All you need to do is just go look on the what do you call it, that roster thingy, daily ops, and see who's off. Sorry, boys, we're just talking about work.
Oh, sorry.
All good.
Can
Interesting.
we ask the trade manager?
Do we get a free pass to? Is there like a trainer belt these days, or what?
Just
Yes, the next
like
sponsor.
the like the youths that come into Youth Horizon, bro. I see a lot of them, bro, and they're the same ones that don't pay for their ticket and always arguing with the ticket officers. I I seen one guy that we used to look after at Youth Horizon. Forgot his name. He was sitting down with his partner and his little one, and then the ticket officer
They
came.
get given hop cards though, eh? Free hop cards.
Oh, did they? I don't know.
Just us.
For those kids.
I'll ask him next time.
Ask him when he comes home.
But he so he was with his partner and the little one, and then the ticket officer came past. Bro, the man went into defensive mode straight away.
True.
So he's like, I don't need a ticket. This is my land. I was like, oh my god. Okay, you gotta go. He's like, glad he gets. Anyway,
What's up, boys?
what's everyone?
Cool.
Yo,
Thanks for sharing.
Have we gone over time?
These never overtime, bro. We can go 5 hours straight if you want to.
Go straight.
Go 5 hours straight, and then we'll have the setup like Joe Rogan. No one's done a 24-hour podcast.
Potathon, bro. 24 hours.
Thanks, boys, for jumping on. We are doing this every Thursdays, 8 p.m. So I'll be happy to have you guys on next time. We're just trying, like what Will said, talanoa, and try and get some good stuff out there for everyone to hopefully take back with them. I know for sure this is. I knew there was a this podcast was gonna be deep, but having to share my own experiences, which I thought I wasn't, was a blessing in disguise, kind of just to let it out and get feedback. But boys, man, I appreciate every one of you jumping on. If you guys got anything to say,
Well, what's the topic for next week?
topic is can you move away from your phone? You're too close.
take 2 seconds. Coronavirus.
Shit, you just get.
Don't get something. Hold you the phone next week.
I'm about 1 meter away, and I think you're still too close. Go ahead, Sosh. Sorry.
I just wanted to ask if anyone had any other questions around like men's health or mental health or anything like that. Was there any burning questions from anyone that I could help with? Or no? Oh, good. I just think I'll finish off with saying, like, we talked about childhood trauma and that, and often the traumatic experiences that we have that happens to us when we're in childhood, and adolescence, like it is galvanized in our thinking, and it forms our perception and the way we see the world. And when we're under pressure, whether it's from relationships or whether it's from a social setting, whether it's at work, whatever setting, if we're under pressure, a lot of the time it's easy for us to go to the negative side, and a lot of that negative side and the negative self-beliefs is formed from our environment. And like, so for example, because I was raised as Tongan, like when my parents get angry at me, they go, "Tamshi vale kua," or like you get told that you're useless and stuff like that. So in times of high pressure, it's easy for the brain to go back to that, so I guess just to end off, I just want to say, like, be mindful of what your self-talk is, and self-talk always changes, but be mindful of your negative self-talk, for yourself. And like, and it helps you to keep yourself guarded and helps you to maintain better better state of mind, you know, because when you're safe and you have a better state of mind, then it goes out to your family, it goes out to your work environment and so forth. So I just thought I'll plant that one in there before
Well,
we
man.
finish.
Thank you, Sosh.
Shot, man.
Well, good boys.
Cheers,
Thanks, bro. Thanks, Sosh.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah, boys, we'll tap in next week Thursday, same time, same place. If you're interested to share your piece on with us, the brother Sosh, you got all the experience, so man, I'll be tapping into that.
Still learning, bro. Still learning.
Yeah, and I guess I just want to add as well. Just it's cool that I'm seeing you guys, Swinky, Sosh, Terry, kind of starting up this podcast. I guess it gives us somewhere where we can, as we spoke about before, Talanoa, and also too start joining in conversations with the other brothers that you guys are working with. Good to see the brother Sosh. So thanks, boys.
Shot, brother.
Hello.
Shot, boys.
Shop brothers. Yeah, we're probably gonna end our main live. But a quick shout out to our sponsors. So the man down the bottom, Mafiu Show, and also Sweatshop. So shout out to those guys that are coming through and sponsoring us with love. Shop brothers.
Hey, just one more question. Terry, what do you think about what's happening at the Broncos, bro? What's good over there, bro? What's happening, man?
We're rebuilding for next year, man.
Right.
Well, I think he's. Did you hear the story of Seabold? I just seen a message that someone
That's
shared.
pretty bad, eh? Pretty bad, eh? What he did. I don't know if it's real or just fake.
Yeah.
Bro, the man is like sleeping with everyone's wives, from what I read. Yeah. Yep. Apparently the story is gonna break news, and he's gonna get the big donagi. Yeah. That's what I've heard. As well as he does a lot of drugs, eh? Yeah.
Nah, man, it's lies, man.
Yeah. Is it? How do we know it's not fabricating, bro?
We just gotta
I
wait
guess
and
there's
see.
evidence. I guess there's evidence if someone's calling it out, eh?
From what I read, how Pangai Jr. came out and said he wants to leave the club. There's quite a few things that happened before that I think the group itself, the playing team, trying to sabotage the coach because, bro, look at their roster, man. How can they not win?
They got a mean lineup, bro.
So, that's just like you said. It's all hearsay, but they got one of the best rosters in the comp and just can't pull out the W. So my man, Black Hammer, has been hiding away.
Bring him out of retirement, bro. Bring him out of retirement, I reckon.
Yeah, stay where you are. Newmarket needs you also.
Hey, what do you guys think of the Warriors, though?
Oh, the Warriors.
Yeah, can we end the podcast right there, please? Full time.
Bro, people used to ask me, they go, "Oh man, what NRL club do you support?" And I used to say, "Oh man, I don't really support any club. I just follow the players. Any of those top players that I like playing, then I'll watch the game." But then when I watch a Warriors game, I used to get angry. I used to take it personal. So I guess I found out that I was a Warriors fan in denial, bro. I was in denial, bro. Sheesh.
Straight up, bro. You know what's even worse is that I support St. George, and the Warriors win in the weekend. Bro, they just jumped us, and yet we've been playing better footy. Fucking
Hey, the Blues and Crusaders game still going? Was it cancelled?
most probably, yeah.
Everyone's waiting for tomorrow for the announcement.
This is apparently sold out, eh?
Oh, true. Is that at Eden Park or down in Christchurch?
Eden Park.
Oh,
Yeah.
sheesh.
Flip. What time do you start tomorrow, Sosh?
Bro, I'm working from home now since it's the lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mean.
yeah.
You still at Kelston, Sosh?
Yeah, bro. Me and the missus built a house at the back of my parents' place.
That's right, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
How's the parents, man? Long time.
Bro, the old man is like, he's gonna be 85 this year, and my mum will be 80.
Wow.
But they're
going,
still
eh?
good, man. Still fit.
Yeah.
Still doing the gardening. Still arguing.
Yeah.
It's a good sign.
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But all good, boys. Thank you for tonight, man.
Hey, Sosh.
Hey,
See you guys later, eh?
Hey, Sosh. Take care, bro.
Bye. Bye.
Hey, what's up, man?
Man, I missed the whole fucking show, bro.
Man, you guys are too professional, man.
Bro. Just gotta miss the whole goddamn show.
You know you can't keep up when you got nothing to say. Just start going quiet. Eh?
Just go.
But it's good to hear. Hey, it's good to hear and soak in what the boys have to say. Just opens up your mind.
Yeah, man. Like, to be honest, man, I didn't even know I was gonna say the shit that I was gonna say. But I guess having the boys on, you know, giving their 5 cents, bro, I was like,
this is what these platforms are for, eh?
Yeah,
it's for that type of thing, eh? So.
Yeah.
Nah, exactly,
yeah, but it's a big thing to let go, like to let it just come out.
To share it.
Yeah. Because everyone's on that same page, it just flows, just comes out. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. That's what it's for.
I was saying to Sosh and Wills, because you know some of the topics they said, oh, should we talk about this? I was like, oh, yeah, no, sweet is. Because we might go deep, and I'm like, in my head, I was like, oh yeah, sweet is. You know, but I guess that's the deepness you want.
Is that right here?
Deepness.
Is that enough, or do you want to go deeper? Do you want to go deeper?
I just missed it, bro. Like, I didn't want to keep his gems.
Where's Wills from? Is he from West?
Yep, he's from West.
He looks familiar. Willie Brown, eh? What's his last name?
Yep, Wills Brown, William Brown.
So.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. Good guy. Because when I was doing youth work, bro, got the old lick.
No, carry on. Carry on, man. Look at your youth work secrets.
So, because this is the chat after the chat, or the show after the show. Bro, when I got I told everyone, oh no, I resigned, but really, bro, there was this kid at the lighthouse, because it's just up the road from where I stay. Bro, the man had the meanest mental games with me. Like the first day he came in, he's just like talking shit. So I was like, sweet dad, he's just a little boy. Yeah, I thought I had some patience. Later on, the man just kept having a go. So I kind of threw something back at him. The man flipped there and went into attack mode. So you're obviously taught to defend yourselves. But the funny thing is, with defending yourself, what we got taught is to remove yourself from the situation anyway. But with me, something clicked and I went to try and restrain him. But you can't restrain kids, or you try not to restrain by yourself. You need to have someone else with you. But that day happened so fast that boom, the guy was throwing haymakers, and then I restrained him. Sent through my report. They just believed the young person, or we call him YP. They believed him over what the situation I had. So I was like, anyway, eventually they said, "Oh, you're on leave," which basically means get the fuck out of here.
Oh, fuck.
Bye bye.
Yeah, you're on leave, and bro, when I got the phone call, I was pissed off, and I said, "Oh, you'll be hearing from my lawyer." That's the first thing I heard. I said to the guy. Not the bloody American shows. You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Mike, what are you going to do?
I just got a manicure. My last manicure service about 10:15, which is not too far away. But it's just there, and then it's actually to where it finish.
Nice, Zeus.
Man, what a crap day, eh?
So
Today.
they pissed me up too. So they sent me home and then they called me back.
What did you have to do?
Yes.
They didn't send you home. You went home. And they rang you, and you're on the way home. Okay?
I want to be on the
There's
podcast.
two
I
different
want to be
things.
on the podcast.
Being told to go home and just going home because you want to go home. Two
I
different
don't
things.
need the platform supervisor to say it twice, Zeus. Just say
Hey.
it. So that's it.
We don't want you to be like Terry and go, you'll be hearing from my lawyer, okay? Because it doesn't work here. Not here.
Straight. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
The platform supervisor would have said, "Oh, we need you to run this. I'll go home. Yeah, see you later, bye."
Nah, bro. Mean talk. Zeus. Mean talk. That was a full panel, bro. Full ass. I thought we were
It's only gonna get bigger. It's only gonna get bigger. Like,
what the boys keen to jump on again next week, or is it free? Or
Yeah, we gotta, like us, we just gotta sort out our show for next week. Yeah, the boys are keen. Because Mike, you have a couple of the boys that are keen too.
yeah, don't drop.
That's a bit of a surprise. We'll say that for the chat, but yeah, we'll sort out a little schedule because we're going big on our 0 followers.
Today,
Don't worry.
hey man, nah, 0 followers or not, but today's panel was fucking sick use.
don't worry. We're gonna bring the heat loose. The heat's coming. Don't worry.
Bring the bling gun soon.
Straight up.
Oui.
Bro, also, Mikey, bro, that the setup you got going there is sicky, bro. Look at the background, bro.
All right, bro.
There's green screen.
This is where all the Indians put their bags. All the robbers put their bags.
Shout for tapping in.
Nah, all good.
Shout out to our
boys, all good brothers.
sponsors. Shout out to the sponsors.
Hey, man, sponsorship coming through. Sponsorship coming through.
Giveaway coming up, is it? Giveaway coming up?
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
a YouTube giveaway. Let's go.
We'll cook you a little something giveaway.
YouTube giveaway.
Nah, but sick years, boys. Thanks for tonight. We'll run this back again next week.
And look forward to the future shows because we're gonna have some pretty cool people on our show. Like definitely.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Nah,
the only guys up from here.
So
Nothing
just
else.
we're not doing any spoilers tonight, but Swanky came through and was like, "Bro, I've got this guy and I've got this guy. Mikey's got all these other guys." So like, dang, big guns coming.
Can you
through.
name them? Name them?
Not yet.
Yeah,
We'll let you know in the chat. But it's the heavy hitters, bro. It's the heavy hitters.
We'll let you know
It's
the
the
chat. Say for now, just move back. Like move back.
Can you move back?
It's very hard talking to you when it feels like you're about to kick me off. So, bro.
It's the way I hold my camera. My camera is a bit too strong.
Oh no.
Hey, Maya, bro. Because now that you're part of the admin group, yeah, you might have to invest in like an iPad or something, bro.
No, just
iPad or a laptop.
Can you invest? You got a spare one?
Here, look. This is how I've got it set up.
Seki.
All right, Maya. So when you're on shift, I expect you to be in this room, all set up like this.
Professional.
Oh, Malo.
Yeah.
Malo, Facebook user.
It's Facebook also.
Who's that guy?
It's
I'm
also.
trying to find out.
Thank you, boys. That's me. I'm going to go and pump the tires on my train and get ready to do this last run. So, boys, so for holding it
brothers.
down.
We good. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Takite.
Yeah,
Takite
yeah,
ano.
yeah. Skip a few stations.
Hey.
There it is, bro.
Hey, Sean. Sean for jumping in.
Mr. Leapard. Kia ora, bro.
So, just dip your foot in the water. Also, just hold your phone. Oh, Sharus. Mean shows. Mean show.
Mean. Nah. Well, when the ball started rolling, bro, it was good. I think I got a bit too controlling during some of it, so I learned to step back, babe. Step back.
Oh, you?
Oh, yeah, right.
Ezra. Shot Ezra.
Oh.
It's the man tapping in on Facebook.
Welcome, brother.
Next week, Uzo.
Yeah, jump on next week.
Sharus.
Week.
Hey.
Boys.
Hey, you found your way back.
Hey, boys. Good night. Have a good night.
Oh,
Good night.
And
Oh, no.
And no COVID testing tonight, okay?
you guys are morning.
Yep. I'll be on.
It's a single line. Is it thing fixed yet?
Nah.
Yeah,
The
Still broken.
bro, it's gonna be F tomorrow as well. Man.
All right, boys. Gotta look after the little one now.
Okay, second.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
broadcast.
Okay.
All right, bro.
Okay. See you later, George Pitt.
Oh, who's that?
Oh,
Sharus.